1090 AM, WILD, a Radio 1 station, is doing their part to measure the movement. Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network proudly presents Measuring the Movement, a TV1 special presentation hosted and moderated by Tom Joyner from the Tom Joyner Morning Show and Roland Martin from TV1's Washington Watch, live from New York. And now, time to measure the movement, courtesy of TV1.
1090 AM WILD here in Boston is the only African-American radio station that is representative of what the Reverend Al Sharpton, Tom Joyner, and Roland Martin and others are putting together to measure the movement, to inform you, educate you, empower you, and preparing for a movement plan for the Black agenda.
The National Action Network's forum, Measuring the Movement, live from the First Corinthian Baptist Church in Harlem. Tom, you got a comment from the web?
Roland, Shauna from Chicago. I filled out my 2010 census form and mailed it back. Now I'm wondering how long it will be before I actually see some benefits in my neighborhood. We have a park with no lights for night games and basketball hoops that are crooked with no nets. When will I see the benefits of the 2010 census in my neighborhood?
Ben, real quick, answer a question.
You know, you've got to check the box, you got to send it back in, but then you got to organize and fight. And that's why people join the NAACP, that's why they join NAN, that's why they join the League. Change is what happens every day, not on census day or voting day. It's what happens every day. You got to organize and you got to fight.
And to help her out, in my neighborhood, my parents did, formed a civic club, and then went to the city council folks and the state folks, and they fought for streets, for lights, for senior citizen center. So it's not what they're going to do, it's what she's going to do in Chicago in her neighborhood.
Which is why, Roland, it's important, as you said, that everybody makes a commitment. Let me tell you something. I know Dr. Ogletree said he knows the president well. I don't know him as well as him. But one thing you got to remember, this president was a community organizer. He knows the difference between frauds and fakes, talking loud black and ain't gonna do nothing for real. We got to get on the ground for real. You ain't gonna fool him. Right. You got to organize, because he come out and argue. Half the people criticizing him never organized where he did. They sitting high, looking low. We got to build from the bottom up.
Absolutely. Now, we talked about economic specifics, and so Warren, I want to go to you. A specific that you'll be driving on your show.
I'm specifically calling for us to invest in black-owned banks. I targeted one bank because if we put our money together, every corporation, every tightened-up industry will be begging to be the target of our money, and we will have control to be able to lend money to small businesses, purchase homes, send our kids to school. We can be our own stimulus package.
Dr. Dyson.
Well, obviously I think that everything everybody's been saying is very important. First of all, stimulus, not stimulate them. We got to get stimulated. The money has not been distributed. I think Mark Mario's point is exactly right. The governors has not been sensitive to the municipal needs and the direct needs of cities. Disproportionate numbers of black and brown people live in the cities. Most of the stimulus money has gone to non-diverse states, North Dakota and Nevada. When you talk about Texas, California, and New York, disproportionate numbers of black and poor people have not been benefited by the stimulus, so we got to argue for that. Thirdly, we got to get out and vote not just for the president, we got to vote for the mayors and the state senators and the state representatives, because fourthly, when you talk about the just distribution of economic capital, unless black folk get out and show up at the polls, you can't get the money redistributed to the banks. If you make certain that the people that are representing you in the state legislature and who are senators and state representatives, then they can begin to enact what Warren Ballentine is talking about in terms of economic and fiscal responsibility. But finally, I'll say this. You and I have to recognize that we wield the power. We're not waiting for anybody else. We want to hold the president, we want to hold the Congress people, we want to hold the Senate responsible, but we ultimately also have to hold ourselves responsible by voting with our bank accounts. White water is not wetter. We got to go to black businesses, we got to go to black banks, we got to go to black haberdasheries, we got to go to black churches, we got to develop our capital, because we still think that the white way is wetter, better, and bigger. What we have to do is understand we ourselves control that, and if we begin to love with our pocketbook, then we can begin to match the politics with the economics, and then we have a better future in store.
So the specific out of all that, buy black. Deborah. Now. One second. You talk, ma'am. 1 second. We talk about health care and what's happening in health care. Talk about economics. There's a major shortage of nurses in this country. So, Deborah, what will your association be doing when it comes to economic dealing with nurses?
32 million people are getting ready to have health insurance. Those people that have health insurance now, we have a poor workforce. It's low. The National Black Nurses Association is committed to ensuring that there is a quality, high-class workforce, and I mean people that look like us. So we are willing.
Is there a number in terms of you want to strive for to bring in?
We represent only 4.5%.
Right, but is there a number of black nurses that you want to bring into the field over the next 12 months? 500, 1,000?
In the next 12 months, I want to bring in 10,000, and that means the workforce. So we're talking about mentoring and coaching because our students have a difficult time with the rigor of nursing school and any healthcare field with math and sciences. And everybody in here, lawyers, doctors, everybody can mentor a student.
Boyce.